Hello, guys. Welcome back to Faith Movies. Today's movie recap will be a family and drama movie from 2021 called The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. The movie starts in a church where a young girl named Sarah and her family listen to a pastor claim that God can move mountains if the faith is strong. In the following scene, Sarah watches her brother Danny's football game with their parents and Danny's girlfriend, Cindy. Danny plays well, but an opponent named Bronner dives into the penalty box, resulting in Danny getting a yellow card and a penalty kick for the other team. Bronner scores the penalty kick, winning the game for his team. After the game, everyone visits Sarah's grandfather Sam's house for the weekend. The children go hiking to a nearby lake to fish. There, Sarah finds a dead bird and tries to revive it through prayer, despite Danny telling her it's impossible. While Danny and Cindy fish, Sarah prays alone. Later, they find her still praying, and she claims she saw God over the lake. Suddenly, the wind blows and the bird revives and flies away, leaving Cindy and Danny amazed but skeptical, thinking the wind revived the bird. At the lake, Sarah tells her grandfather about seeing God and letting the bird go. Sam believes her, feeling she is special. That night, Sarah tells her wheelchair-bound friend Mark about the miracle, and though skeptical, he believes her after she swears on the Bible. Later, Sarah's mother asks her to reflect on her blessings, and Sarah ominously mentions that God will soon take her to heaven, worrying her mother. Soon after, Danny wakes his parents because Sarah is ill. Their family doctor, Dr. Ben, diagnoses her with stomach flu and expects her to recover soon. Later, Sarah's father finds a painting she made of God as seen on the lake. Returning from school days later, Sarah is bullied by boys demanding she revive their dead pets, spurred by Mark sharing the miracle out of excitement. Danny and Cindy intervene when they see Sarah being harassed. Just then, Bronner arrives with his dog, which is hit by a speeding car and dies. Sarah prays, and the dog miraculously comes back to life, astounding onlookers. At the scene, Mark asks Sarah to pray for his spinal injury. Unsure but hopeful, Sarah prays for him, asking God to help her friend walk again. The next morning, Mark's parents take him to the hospital to see Dr. Ben. Surprisingly, Mark can move his toes, which was previously impossible due to his spinal injury. Dr. Ben, amazed, watches as Mark stands and walks, attributing his recovery to Sarah's prayers. At the hospital, a journalist named Dolores overhears Mark's story and decides to report it, making Sarah famous overnight. Soon, Dr. Ben and the pastor visit Sarah at home. Sarah is thrilled to hear about Mark and credits God for the miracle. The pastor inquires about the lake incident, and Sarah explains everything. Although Dr. Ben is skeptical and suggests further medical tests, the pastor believes Sarah possesses a unique gift, given the inexplicable nature of Mark's recovery. Later, Sarah's father finds her drawing a girl on a horse who appeared in her dreams. This girl, Teresa, a cancer patient who loves horses, is deteriorating, and her mother, having seen Sarah's story, hopes for a healing. The next day, many parents with sick and disabled children gather at Sarah's house hoping for miracles. Faced with the crowd, Sarah convinces her reluctant parents by asking what they would do if she were sick and could be healed by a miracle. Despite concerns about losing her childhood to constant healing demands, Sarah steps outside. She recognizes Teresa from her dreams, and after praying, Teresa immediately feels better. Sarah goes on to heal more children, but the effort leaves her exhausted and she collapses. Her parents rush her to the hospital where Dr. Ben conducts tests and prepares her for an MRI. Sarah's mother explains to Ben how Sarah was bedridden after praying for Mark and now, overwhelmed from healing so many, has collapsed from exhaustion. As they discuss, media surrounds the hospital, drawn by Sarah's miraculous healings. Every news channel is now calling Sarah a miracle worker. To escape the media frenzy, Dr. Ben advises Sarah's parents to hide out at her grandfather Sam's house after her MRI. They discreetly leave the hospital through a back door and take her to Sam's place. There, Sarah's mother shares her astonishment and worry about Sarah's miraculous healings and her increasing illness ever since she claimed to have seen God. In the next scene, Sam visits the lake where Sarah says she saw God. Overcome with emotion, he pleads with God to heal his granddaughter and questions why God would threaten to take her away after making her so special. The following day, Dr. Ben and the pastor come to discuss Sarah's condition at Sam's house. They send Sarah outside, but she sneaks back to overhear their conversation. It's then revealed by the doctor that Sarah has an inoperable brain tumor, which may be causing her visions of God. When Sarah's mother asks about all the people Sarah healed, the doctor suggests it might have been mass hypnosis. Hearing this, Sarah is heartbroken. Dr. Ben informs her parents that Sarah is likely to die soon and there's no cure. As her mother breaks down crying, Sarah tries to comfort her, reassuring her that she will be safe and happy with God in heaven. However, Sarah expresses a wish to return to the lake to ask God if he could delay her passing for a few more years. While insisting on this, she becomes dizzy and collapses. So, Sarah's parents quickly take her to the hospital. After she wakes up, Danny and Cindy head to Sam's house where they meet Teresa, Mark, their parents, and the pastor. Teresa shares with everyone that when Sarah healed her, she saw a spiritual figure next to Sarah, reaching out to touch the children Sarah was healing. Teresa felt warm and healthy for the first time in years after Sarah prayed for her, and she immediately knew she was cured. She believes now it's time to repay Sarah and help her. Sam then shares that he and the pastor have a plan to fulfill Sarah's last wish to visit the lake, despite knowing it would upset Sarah's parents, Dr. Ben, and the hospital staff. Sam believes the lake has magical properties and that Sarah knows something crucial that could aid her. Hearing this, everyone agrees to help Sarah make the trip to the lake. That night, they cleverly distract the hospital staff, Sarah's parents, and Dr. Ben to sneak Sarah out of the hospital. Danny and Teresa's mother take Sarah in their car, followed by Mark and Cindy. When Sam receives a message from his grandson, he quickly drives off with the pastor. However, a media reporter spots Sarah in the car and alerts the others inside the hospital. Shocked to find Teresa instead of Sarah, her parents realize Sam has taken her to the lake. They immediately start their car and set off after them. Elsewhere, some officers start chasing Danny and Sam for speeding. Danny manages to evade them, but a fallen tree blocks the road due to the storm and heavy rain. Unable to carry his sister to the lake, Danny is helped by Bronner, who offers a shortcut and helps carry Sarah because he feels indebted to her for saving his dog. Danny and Bronner take turns carrying Sarah to the lake. On the way, a wolf threatens them, but Bronner's dog chases it off. They finally reach the lake, and Danny begins praying for his sister. Soon after, Sarah's parents, the media, and others arrive. Sarah's mother scolds Sam for bringing her daughter out on such a stormy night. Amidst the chaos, Sarah dies, leaving everyone heartbroken. However, a bright light appears over the lake, and a vision of God emerges as Sarah's soul leaves her body and joins God, shocking and somewhat comforting those present. They return home with Sarah's body. Danny finds a drawing of Sarah holding God's hand and shares it, showing that Sarah knew God would come for her. He then discovers another drawing depicting Sarah returning from heaven. Inspired, Danny prays fervently, and miraculously, Sarah comes back to life. She tells everyone that she asked God to let her return to take care of her family, which convinces Dr. Ben of the miracles. Sarah then steps outside to a crowd lighting candles in her memory. Seeing her alive, everyone kneels, but she urges them to stand and emphasizes faith in God, love for family, and helping others. The movie ends as the whole town, now full of faith, gathers in the church to listen to the pastor. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Your support is appreciated. Remember, Jesus loves you. Have a blessed day, and see you next time.